follow-up questions to ask him about his series, the book series, where.
Do you have any water?
Yes, I can.
Sorry.
Did you open that one?
Thanks.
Okay, I think it's time to do that.
We're doing good, by the way.
Thanks.
Keep it up. For this next segment?
Yep.
All right. Does this make you feel a bit more comfortable for your future interviews?
Yeah.
Okay. You trying to pick up on what to do and what not to do?
Yeah. So give me more experience.
All right, cool. That's
I'm
good.
learning not to freak out. Yeah, that's good.
You're doing good, man. You're doing really good.
Welcome back, my fellow readers. I'm your host, Mr. Anime, and this is Dee's Corner. I'm with Mikkel Green. So, we're going to be asking questions about what do you see coming up in 2020.
Okay. For 2020, we definitely have a lot in store. We have more titles that we're pushing to pull out. We have new artists, new creators, new writers that we're going to introduce. We have more conventions that we're going to be a part of, and we look forward to bringing more content to the world. You know, just grow with Byrd. So that's what we're pushing for.
What do you see coming up for the Black Angel comics? Like, how far do you think this will go?
Well, we're hoping that it goes continuously, which that's the plan, and I'm going to push as hard as I can. Consistency is key when it comes to things, and we want to make sure that the story expands out even further, get more in depth with the individual characters' backgrounds, being able to show people what those backgrounds look like when they are connecting with others within the books and the stories. Bringing, of course, continuous, plot twist or Easter egg, so to speak, to kind of go along with the other titles that we have available. So, we look forward to actually bringing a whole lot to everybody, 2020 as well as beyond that, just not only with Byrd and Black Angel, but everything that we do. So,
what are the titles for any other comics you have, if you have any?
Okay, so outside of the Black Angel series, we have Black Friday. We also have two upcoming books that we're going to be working on, which is called Carcass, and the other one is Dead for Bid. Now, if you heard the titles, you kind of get an idea of what they're along the lines of. So that's just one genre that we're working on, and I'm a big horror fan. So I grew up off of things like, the old 80s and 90s and some of the 70s horror movies, like anywhere from Freddy Krueger to, Jason, Michael Myers.
Give me a high five.
So all of it. So yeah, I'm big on those, and so I really like those types of stories. So I wanted to kind of put my books towards that and kind of away from the traditional superhero-esque type, books. But that does not mean that I'm closed-minded to those. So that's the reason why we have other creators and writers come aboard, because Byrd Comics is about, diversity. So we want to have different genres, different stories, different everything that will cater to everybody. So, as long as it's not, not overly, I guess you could say, hateful, so to speak, things that will get more attention than what we want, then, definitely that's something that we will promote. So.
What do you see happening if you do end up joining Marvel and or DC?
Well, I would never say never as far as Marvel and DC. Are you saying as far as joining them, or are you saying like getting on the level as they are right now?
Both.
Okay. Well, joining them, it's Byrd all day, so I'm not worried about Marvel or DC. I'd rather just do Byrd and keep pushing forward with Byrd and watching it grow from there, because it's my baby. And, being able to experience those things that Marvel and DC and their captains and leaders went through, I enjoy that more than just joining the ranks and becoming another, I guess you could say, number, whatever you want to call it, or a person that's just on the team. So Byrd probably will just be Byrd and without Marvel or DC. Now, as far as getting to their level, God willing, we can get to the level that, we aspire and push for. They're really big. They are global. They are everywhere. They're a household name, to many. So we strive to get to that point as well, to get to that level. So starting off here in Louisville and in the southern Indiana area, and kind of letting this be our base so that we can expand from here and go further.
Do you ever think that there might be a movie from any one of your books?
I hope. So that's the plan, man. We're really trying to go in different avenues. So that's where I say, closed-mindedness does not work in this type of business. You got to be open to a lot of things. And, I have to keep that open-mindedness for bigger things. So this is just a base. This is like a baby step towards the bigger picture. But we got to be willing to take those steps to get to that movie production or that pitch or whatever it may be, toys or whatever it may be. So it all starts somewhere, and so I'd rather just start where it's at, move forward step by step, and learn as much as I possibly can so we can get to that. Even if I'm not around, when that happens, I still want it to continue to grow. So I need to do my part in order for me to continue to grow, even if I'm not here.
So you want your company to continue, maturing throughout time, even when you're gone?
That's correct. We're trying to get on Walt Disney level. So that's the plan, yeah.
Well, I truly do hope that you actually get to have a movie from any one of your books or anything like that. And I'm rooting for you. So
we appreciate that.
Okay. All right, quick commercial break. We want to shout out our sponsors for Dee's Corner. You can follow Dee's Corner at DEES Reading Corner. That is DEES Reading Corner on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. You also can follow Power 106 at www.kyheartmedia.com and all streaming platforms. Shout outs to this week's sponsors, Diamond Elite Design Customs and Mary Walls Media Brand Group. Thank you to Greenbird Comics for coming out. You can follow Greenbird Comics on Facebook and Twitter. And they also have a website. We will make sure we get that into the links. And I believe, are we doing a fact check this week?
Well, we don't really have much to fact check.
No, because we've got the actual author and creator right here. So we usually do a fact check. So I think instead of a fact check, let's do a hot 5 questions. You ready for it?
Let's do it.
All right. So you had a booth set up at GalaxyCon. What was the craziest or the most creative costume you saw there?
I saw a cat that was dressed in this character costume from, what is it, Futurama? It's like a off-brand from The Simpsons.
Mm-hmm.
And there was this guy walking around with this, it was a head and a bowl. It was
Richard Nixon.
Yeah, there you go.
Richard Nixon's costume. Yeah, he actually won the top prize. He won the top for the cosplay costume contest. Won the top prize.
Dude, that was crazy. I was like,
yeah.
Okay, that's pretty
cool. We always attend the cosplay big costume contest because, I mean, they give away some real money at that. And he won the top prize this year, actually, for the Richard Nixon costume. Okay, yeah. Second question. Is GalaxyCon, or formerly known as SuperCon, is that the first Comic-Con you've ever attended, or have you, as just a fan, attended them before?
Well, SuperCon, I did attend that when I was participating in that one last year. That was our first official convention that we went on under Greenbird.
Okay.
Before that, I've only attended one. And that was my business partner, Byrd. She was in it because she does her own art thing outside of Greenbird. And I needed to figure out how it works.
Right.
So we went to, I think it was the Derby City Comic Con. It was over at the Expo Center.
Right, we heard about that. I'm hearing that there's a lot of these smaller mini conventions and meetups that they actually do here in Kentucky. And I don't think a lot of people, especially in our community, don't even know about them.
Right, I didn't know anything about them until recently. So,
did you know there was a Frankfurt Con?
I found that out through GalaxyCon.
I know, like, we were like amazed. And Lexington has a Comic-Con that's been happening for years, and that's usually really, really big. So we're planning on attending that. Yeah. And being a media presence for it, but a lot of people didn't know or do not know about it. So the follow-up question to that is, now being a part of it and seeing the value in it, what would you like to see as far as our community being able to get the word out and being more involved?
I would definitely love to see more people get involved in one thing, the cosplay thing. Excuse me. First and foremost, there are a lot of beautiful women out there that, do these cosplay events. And I know for a fact there's a lot of women of our color that love to dress up. They just don't have a way of doing it. I found out a couple of my friends that didn't even know about these events. They actually kind of flocked towards doing cosplay. And they've actually, for the past 2 SuperCon and GalaxyCon, have dressed up for it just because they just love the fact of dressing up.
Yeah, there's a whole community of cosplayers, and I don't think that a lot of people know about it. Or it's just it's something that is so different than the norm. So then you find out, as they like to call us nerds or geeks, that are actually in it, and then you go to these things, you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't know you liked, So I definitely think that that's definitely something that needs to be more made awareness of.
Right.
So also, let me ask this follow question. If you could have one thing that you would like to do at Comic-Con, or let's just talk about GalaxyCon. We'll keep it kind of local, or Lexington Con, any of the cons. What would be the one, hugest, biggest thing that you, as Greenbird Comics, could do?
I would like to do a discussion panel for a movie that has been produced from our books.
Okay.
That'd be something I'm shooting for. I would love that to happen.
Absolutely. One thing, what I would love to see happen? I would love to see a panel of people talking about, like you, getting started and encouraging kids who are into drawing, if they're into writing, they got big